What's up guys, Starnes here with Droid Modder X. LG was nice enough to send me the V20. I've been using it as my daily driver for the past several weeks and it is quickly becoming one of my favorite devices of 2016. With the Note 7 being canceled and the Pixel XL being a bit of a letdown, LG really has an opportunity here to make up some market share with the V20. This is my full review of the LG V20. Let's go ahead and get started. First up, we'll talk about the design. The V10 of last year took more of a rugged approach with a steel frame and rubber back. I really enjoyed the design of the V10 because it reminded me of a race car. The V20 takes more of an elegant approach. So you got an all metal back and glass on the front. Everything's premium here, and while it is elegant, it still maintains its durability. So one of the other things that the V10 was known for was the military drop protection, and you get the same protection in the V20. In order to get the military standard 810G rating, LG has placed a small band of silicone polycarbonate material at the top and bottom, which is going to provide lots of impact resistance from drops. So taking a quick tour of the device, we've got a 5.7-inch Quad HD display on the front, and then on top of that, you have that secondary display, which is great for showing notifications and toggles. It gives you quick access to lots and lots of information. To the left of the second screen, you have the front-facing camera. On the back of the device, you'll see a dual lens setup for the camera. It includes a 16-megapixel camera and an 8-megapixel camera. We'll get into that more in depth later on. Below the camera, you have a rear fingerprint scanner. Rear placement is the perfect placement for a fingerprint scanner in my personal opinion. On the bottom of the device, you'll find a very loud, crisp, and clean speaker. You also have USB Type-C and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. On the left of the device, you have the volume rocker. I would have preferred to see that on the back of the phone with the power button. Or either on the right side of the phone, which would give you easier access with the thumbs. And then on the right side of the device, there is a button to take off the metal back so that you can get to that user replaceable battery. Next up, we'll talk about the displays. The primary display is a 5.7-inch IPS LCD QHD display. It's one of the sharpest displays around. Colors are very vibrant and poppy. The only issue that I've had with this display is that it doesn't get as bright as an AMOLED display that you might find on a Galaxy device. It still gets bright enough, especially for indoor use. You may find that you're having to crank up the brightness all the way whenever you step outside and you're in direct sunlight. One good thing though about the IPS LCD display is it tends to have more natural color reproduction. It's not as oversaturated as you would get from an AMOLED display, so if you prefer more natural colors, then this will be the screen for you. Just above that 5.7-inch display is the second display, and this is where you're going to get all of your notifications. You're going to have access to toggles and your most recently used apps, as well as other applications that can be added to the second display. One other thing that I really love about that secondary display is it doubles as an always-on display. That always-on display gives you access to important information like the date, time, and your battery stats, as well as incoming notifications. You can actually interact with those incoming notifications without turning on your display. And if the always-on display is too bright for you, you can change the brightness settings, especially at nighttime when you're sleeping. You can turn down the brightness if that's necessary. Next up, we'll talk about hardware and performance. The V20 is rocking a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor and 4 gigabytes of RAM, so you know everything is going to be snappy and fluid. In my several weeks of usage, I haven't noticed any lags or stutters, even in high-intensity games. One thing that I really love about the V20 is they didn't cheap out on onboard storage. This comes with 64 gigabytes out of the box. Then it also allows for micro SD card expansion. With the micro SD card slot, you'll be able to expand your storage up to 200 gigabytes. Of course, it does include a 3200 milliamp hour user replaceable battery, which gives your phone the quickest charge time ever, considering you can just change out your battery in a couple of seconds. As far as battery life is concerned, I was able to easily get all the way through my entire day, every day, with this 3200 milliamp hour battery. That included about 3.5 to 4.5 hours of screen on time, and that's with heavy usage. If you are able to drain your battery before the end of the day and you don't happen to have a spare battery, the good news is that it does include Quick Charge 3.0, so you'll be able to charge your phone halfway in about 30 minutes. One of the major selling points of the V20 is the included Hi-Fi Quad DAC. This is going to give you the ultimate sound experience from your headphones. This DAC is specifically able to eliminate 50% of ambient noise as it accurately converts digital recordings to analog sounds. This is the closest you're going to get to a live experience on a cell phone, period. This is an audiophile's dream. Moving along, we'll talk about the camera now. DxOMark gives the Pixel and the Pixel XL the highest rating in cameras, but I have to say that when using the V20, it has to be right up there next to the Pixel and even the Note 7. This camera is easily one of my top 3 cameras for 2016. The V20 is doing something with a camera that other high-end flagship Android devices just aren't doing, and that's a dual lens system. These 2 lenses are comprised of a 16 megapixel f1.8 aperture and 8 megapixel f2.4 aperture combination. The 2 lens system allows for incredible wide angle lens shots along with awesome standard shots. You're going to get unmatched clarity and sharpness in your photos. Colors are going to appear more natural and vibrant. The camera even performs very well in low light settings. Not only are you going to get some incredible still shots out of the V20's camera, but you're going to get some excellent video. This camera is able to get some of the best video stabilization in the industry with the new Steady Record 2.0 system. And the main difference you'll notice is the elimination of that jello effect. So whenever you do turn on the image stabilization, you're not going to get that awful jello effect that you sometimes get from software stabilization. Lastly, we'll talk about the software. The V20 is one of the first devices to ship with Android 7.0 Nougat. It also includes LG's very own UX 5.0. The UI is pretty simple overall. It doesn't have a lot of extra features to really bog it down. You get a couple extra things like the LG Health. You do have that remote control application for the IR Blaster. In closing, I have to say that the V20 is one of the best devices of 2016. It is also one of the last remaining phablet devices. If you're a pro user that has to have features, then the V20 is likely the phone for you. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future. You can find more of me at droidmodderx.com. Follow me on Twitter at droidmodderx. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.